Soak a cup of dosa rice for at least couple of hours, and after couple of hours of soaking, transfer the soaked dosa rice into a blender jar like this after draining its water out. By using little bit of water, grind into a coarse paste like this. Melt 3 teaspoons of ghee or clarified butter in a wok like this. When the ghee melts, goes 3 tablespoons of broken cashew nuts and stir for a while. When there is slight changes in the color of the cashew nuts, here goes 3 tablespoons of raisins and continue stirring. This will be required in the latest stages of the cooking, and when the raisins puff up, off goes the flame. Now pour in coarsely ground rice batter into thin coconut milk extracted from one whole coconut and mix well. This is to ensure that there is no lump formation while cooking. Now heat up a big pot like this and melt 3 teaspoons of ghee or clarified butter. Now coarsely ground rice batter mixed in thin coconut milk goes in entirely and stir on lowest possible flame continuously. For a cup of dosa rice, add 2 cups of jaggery while continuously stirring. When the jaggery is well incorporated into the rice batter and thin coconut milk mixture, and when it has gotten thicker like this, it's the right time to add in thick coconut milk extracted from one whole coconut. You don't have to pour in all of the thick coconut milk, but pour in depending upon your desired consistency, but here we are pouring in all of it. When it has started to simmer like this, here goes 2 teaspoons of ghee more. The cashew nuts and raisins that were fried earlier goes in entirely. Finally add in a teaspoon of green cardamom powder and mix well. Nothing else man, off goes the flame now. Here we are using a cup of wheat curds, just wash it once and need not soak it or anything. Using one whole coconut, we have extracted thick coconut milk as well as thin coconut milk. Now into the blender jar like this goes the washed wheat curds after draining its water out. By using thin coconut milk, blend into slightly coarse paste. Let's fry cashew nuts and raisins now. For that, into a wok like this goes approximately 30 grams of ghee. When the ghee melts, goes 2 tablespoons of cashew nuts and saute for a while. 2 tablespoons of raisins goes in now and continue sauteing. In the meantime, while we are sauteing the cashew nuts and raisins, do us a small favor. If you like the video, please give this video a like and also share it with your friends. When the raisins have puffed up, off goes the flame. This will be required in the later stages of the cooking. Now into a pressure cooker like this goes the wheat paste that we ground earlier. Now pour in the second extract or thin coconut milk. Now pressure cook for 2 to 3 whistles, and after pressure cooking, before opening the lid, allow the steam to go out by itself. Turn on the stove now and pour in the first extract or thick coconut milk entirely while continuously stirring. Now goes a cup of jaggery. Mix well and allow this mixture to come to a boil. When the jaggery has dissolved in the paisa and the paisa has come to a boil, here goes a teaspoon of green cardamom powder and mix well. The cashew nuts and raisins that were fried together earlier in ghee goes in now entirely. Give it a final stir. When the paisa has come to a boil again, off goes the flame. In the first step, heat up a wok like this. When the wok heats up, goes in ghee or clarified butter. If you are watching this video on Facebook, then follow our CountNCook Facebook page. If you are watching it on YouTube, then subscribe to our channel. Cut the almonds into small pieces and that goes in now. Now goes the cashew nuts and saute for a while. Now goes the raisins and saute. If you like what you see on screen, then please give this video a like. Now goes the rava and put the flame on lowest possible or on sim and saute continuously. In the meantime, let's boil some milk in some sugar. In another wok, in goes some sugar and turn on the flame. In goes the water and let the sugar dissolve completely. Now that we have a sugar solution, in goes the milk. Check out the consistency of the milk. With this consistency, you would get a payasam which is neither too thick nor too thin. Important thing to keep in mind is to put the flame on lowest possible or on sim once the milk starts boiling, because the temperature of the rava and milk should be same so that the rava doesn't turn into lumps. Now when the milk is boiling and the flame is set to sim, here goes the roasted rava, and while adding rava, stir continuously. Here you could see there is no lump formation because the temperature of the rava is same as that of milk. If you add sugar to warm rava, then there is lump formation, or when you add milk at room temperature to the warm rava, there is lump formation, or else if the rava is cold or at room temperature and when you add the hot milk, there is lump formation because of the temperature difference. And the same conditions do apply while making sheera or kesari bath too. When it becomes difficult to transfer the remaining rava, then pour in the milk into the wok with the rava. This way it becomes easier. Let's check out the consistency of the payasam. It is slightly thin, so let's boil it a bit further. We had forgotten to add green cardamom powder, but you guys can add it right now. This is the right consistency of the payasam. Let's turn off the stove. Taking note of proportion of ingredients is important here to make enough pooris to match the quantity of milk. Let's make puri first. For that, into a tray like this goes half cup of chiroti rava and 2 cups of wheat flour. 2 tablespoons of sunflower oil goes in and give it a mix. By adding in water little by little, turn the flour into a dough. Knead for around 10 minutes and make a stiff dough like this and rest it for half an hour. After half an hour of resting, take a small portion of the dough and turn it into roundels. The process is no different from rolling chapatis or pooris. Dust the roundels with some flour and roll it into a sheet as thin as possible. The shape of the pooris are not important here, as anyways we are gonna break them, but our intention here is to make the pooris that would become very crispy after getting fried. Before deep frying, preheat half liter of sunflower oil for at least 5 minutes on medium flame. Once the oil is heated, slide the puri carefully into the oil like this. Now fry the puris on medium flame, neither too high nor too low. Flip the puri over once in between. Once you get a brown color like this, it's the right time to take the puri out. Here the puri is like a papad and not like your regular puris. That's our intention here. Place the puri on an absorbent paper or on a colander. Repeat the process in frying remaining puris, and once cooled down, you can break them into smaller pieces. Don't powder the pooris because while eating the payasa, you should get the bite of the pooris. To make the payasa, boil a liter of milk in a pot like this. Payasa has the tendency to get thicker once rested, so in order to prevent that, pour in a liter of water for a liter of milk. When the milk comes to a boil, you can add in the sugar. For a liter of milk, add in 3 cups of sugar. Give it a mix, and now it's the time to introduce the pooris into the payasa. Mix well. If you like the video, please give this video a like and also share it with your friends. We had fried a tablespoon of cashew nuts and a tablespoon of raisins in some ghee. That goes in now. And at this point of time, you can add in a teaspoon of green cardamom powder. Around 3 tablespoons of ghee or clarified butter goes in now. Take a note of important ingredients here. Half cup of chiroti rava, 2 cups of wheat flour, a liter of milk, a liter of water and 3 cups of sugar. Now when the pooris have become softer, of course the flame